Whether it was the horror show of an opening ceremony, the unlivable conditions in the Olympic Village, or the controversial rules and regulations, the 2024 Olympic Games was just straight up weird. With controversy after controversy, it just seemed like those involved with the planning of this Olympics just couldn't catch a break. Many have paralleled the issues surrounding the Games with the current situation of the world that we live in today. So how did the event, known to be the pinnacle of sport and excellence, become a strange, twisted, and even corrupt stage that has brought in more division than unity? All this and more as we uncover why it all went so wrong for the 2024 Paris Olympics. To truly begin to comprehend why the 2024 Olympics was the way it was, we need to understand that the Olympics has always somewhat reflected the state of the world. For example, the Games were cancelled both during World War I and World War II for obvious reasons, and other countries like South Africa have previously been banned from participating due to their wayward politics. Though, with these issues aside, the Olympics has always strived to help unite the world together rather than tear it apart. Because of this need for unity, the International Olympic Committee, which is also known as the IOC for short, has a strict set of rules that prohibit certain political, religious, and racial demonstrations. These rules, the 2024 Olympics seems to have perfectly parodied the world we live in today, by showing a disconnect between cultures and a general lack of care and empathy. Before the Olympics even began, there were protests over which countries and individuals could participate, with all eyes on countries like Russia and Israel. The French government were also eager to showcase Paris as an ideal destination, accelerating the relocation of homeless individuals from the city to other regions. Since April, over 1,800 homeless people have been moved to other shelters across France. The government also cancelled emergency housing contracts to prioritize Olympic tourists, prioritizing the city's appearance and commercial interests over the welfare of vulnerable populations. While this type of internal migration practice is common for countries hosting the Olympics, the following issue is certainly not. Despite efforts to make the Paris Olympics the cheapest in history, the event was marred by numerous issues. Olympians faced poor conditions, including cardboard box beds, a lack of air conditioning, and small food rations. The availability of proteins was limited, due to a restriction aimed at making the Olympic Village as meat-free as possible, offering mostly vegan and vegetarian options. This lack of variety led some countries and athletes to import their own meats, to maintain diets consistent with their training programs. Safety was also a major concern for Olympians, with many athletes being robbed, attacked, or harassed. Australian cyclist Logan Martins had his van broken into, resulting in the theft of personal items like his wallet and backpack. Fortunately, his bicycle was left untouched, but if it had been stolen, Martins could have faced significant challenges in competing, not to mention that the trauma from this event also did not help his performance. Other athletes, including Japanese rugby players and the Australian hockey team coach, also reported thefts of cash and valuables. These issues led many Olympians to find alternative accommodations, highlighting a significant failure on the part of the IOC. While these issues were particularly bad for the athletes themselves, the so-called spectacle that unfolded during the opening ceremony was even worse for the world to witness. The portrayal was widely received as a mockery of Christianity, offending billions of believers and seemingly violating the IOC's Rule 50 on political and religious expression. The ceremony also included provocative performances and a woman on stage who clearly lacked the athleticism by those expected at the Olympics. Furthermore, many viewers were shocked by the disconnect between the ceremony's content and the Olympic spirit. Additionally, the IOC made some naive decisions. They faced backlash for forcing surfers to cover cross symbols on their boards and preventing athletes from wearing hijabs and religious symbols. The IOC's failure to address the concerns led to outrage online and a half-hearted apology reflecting poorly on the event's overall execution. Though, as the 2024 Olympics rolled on, things did seem to get better, at least for the most part. The 2024 Olympics have likely been the most talked about in history, with athletes sharing experiences on social media and viewers weighing in on every single moment. The coverage has showcased both the highs and the lows of the games. On the positive side, it's allowed for a deeper connection between athletes and fans. It has given many amazing athletes a chance to show off their skills to a global audience, and in return, get the recognition and rewards they deserve for all the hard work they've put into their sport over the years. Memes and viral moments have been everywhere, like Turkish silver medalist Yusuf, who became viral for shooting with one hand in his pocket and being just a general badass type character. His quick rise to fame shows how social media can turn a single moment into a global sensation. But it also points out how fast people's attention shifts, with interest moving on very quickly and leaving yesterday's stars behind. These quick flashes of fame showcase just how short our attention spans are, and also highlight the pros and the cons of the digital age. But while Yusuf stole the world's heart, Algerian fighter Amin Keith did the exact opposite. On August 1st, 2024, during the Olympics, Amin Keith faced off against Italy's Angela Carini in a welterweight match. The fight was over in just 46 seconds after Angela took 2 hard hits and decided to forfeit, crying and calling the match unjust. She was devastated, especially since this was her first Olympic bout. The incident quickly went viral, with high-profile figures like J.K. Rowling, Elon Musk, and even Donald Trump chiming in. The media was abuzz, framing it as a case of a male-born athlete dominating a female competitor due to higher testosterone levels. However, the real story was far more complicated. Keith, who had previously been banned from other competitions for failing eligibility tests, came out and stated that she had a rare sex development disorder. This rare condition causes unclear genitalia and can lead to someone being assigned the wrong sex at birth. Keith herself had been assigned female at birth and lived as such, though this context wasn't widely known. The uproar exposed the problems with how the IOC handles these issues, fueling further controversy and cultural divides. While the boxing community faced unfair scrutiny, the International Boxing Association criticized the IOC for not providing clear guidelines. In response, Angela Carini was awarded $50,000, and the IBA president condemned the IOC's handling of the situation. Moving forward, the IOC plans to address these fairness issues to prevent such controversies in future Olympics. At least, none of these athletes had to worry about their personal health, unlike those who had to swim in the polluted river in the French capital. The Seine, which was supposed to host the marathon swimming events that were later relocated, ended up being a huge mess. Why, you ask? Well, the river isn't exactly known for its crystal clear waters. In fact, it's pretty notorious for being polluted. Despite this, before the games even started, there were concerns about the water quality. And guess what? Those concerns proved to be spot on.
It was at 3:30 this morning this water was tested again. The data showed risky levels of E. coli bacteria, again. And it's no surprise the Seine is dirty. For a century, swimming was banned, until the Olympics came here. But plans to promote Paris have turned to embarrassment. The men's triathlon postponed hours before it was due to start here.
The situation got so bad that there were multiple delays and postponements for the events. The organizers even tried to rely on clear skies and UV rays to help sanitize the water, but obviously this didn't cut it. Now, you might be wondering how much money was poured into fixing this stupid issue. Well, a whopping €1.5 billion was spent on cleaning up the Seine since 2015, in an attempt to make it more swimmable. Unfortunately though, this massive investment really didn't pay off. The water still wasn't clean enough and the events were quite literally plagued with problems. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for similar content. Who would you like to see next? Let us know in the comments. Until next time, stay quixotic.